Hey guys, Science Lectures YT coming back with another video. What we're gonna go ahead and do today is go over a hard SAT question, and good news is we'll use a calculator for this section, so we're good. But like I like to say a lot, linear functions is something that gets a lot of people tripped up, just because it's not actually asking you to solve anything complicated. It's just telling you to understand and read the problem thoroughly and understanding it. But if you've seen a lot of my videos, you know that's one of the things that I have against the SAT, but that's more on a personal level. But that's why I'm here to support and make sure people understand how to read the question properly. All right, cool. So the question tells us, for groups of 25 or more people, a museum charges $21 per person for the first 25 people and $14 for each additional person. Which function f gives the total charge in dollars for a group with n people where n is greater than or equal to 25? Okay, cool. Now, just from reading this problem, if I were to approach it and understand, right? It says for groups of 25 or more people, a museum charges $21 per person for the first 25 people. First 25 people. So we're going to go ahead and break this down, all right? So we have first 25. These people are going to be $21 per person, right? So we're going to go ahead and do 21 times 25. Got 525. Okay? Boom. This means it doesn't matter if it's 40 people, 50 people, 1,000 people, a cajillion, billion people. The first 25 will always be for 525. Okay. Now this is our step one. Now think about it. If your first 25 people is 21 per person, what's the next important step that you're going to want to do? You're going to want to find that 14 for each additional person after, right? Because remember, this first 25, no matter what the number is, if it's 30, if it's 60, if it's 90, you're going to have this 525 for these first 25 people. Now, what's the next thing telling you? It's telling you that any person after 25, essentially number 26 and beyond, is going to be $14 additional. So then essentially what you're going to want to do is that if there are n people, right, what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to subtract it by that 25 for that n number of people to see like who's not there. Because remember, your n has to be greater than 1 or equal to 0. So if it's 25 minus 25, okay, then boom, you're at 525. But you always want a number that's going to go ahead and get you greater than and equal to 25, right? Which is in the problem. So n could be, for example, 26, 36, any value that's greater. Now, what's the last thing you're missing? The 14, because for each additional person, you go ahead and multiply here. So then you have step 2. Now, a lot of people will probably get stuck and say, what is my next step that I'm supposed to do? I understand for the first 25 people, it's 525. Then for step 2, I know it's 14n minus 25, because if n is greater than 25, that means that I have more than those 25 people, and it's 14 additional dollars. Boom. So you know what you're going to do now? You're just going to add both parts, because it's telling you which function f gives the total charge in dollars for a tour group with n people where n is greater than 25. Boom. So you know you're using step 1 and step 2. Let's go ahead and set it up. So then we're going to go ahead and have 525 plus our 14n minus 25. Here, simple math, don't forget, go ahead and distribute it, right? We have our 25 times 14, 350 minus 350, don't forget the negative sign, 14n, 525 plus here. Combine our two like terms, our two actual values without the variable. We have 525 minus 350. We got 175. Don't forget, we can always just do that here. 375, 175 here. 14n plus 175. All right, cool. That looks like A. But like I always like to say is we're going to go ahead and go through the next following values just to make sure we didn't slip up because, a problem or mistake can always happen. So let's go ahead and just check it out. So for B, it says that it's 14n plus 525, right? So why would this be an issue, right? 14n plus 525. So if all n people pay $21, right? That's what it would be. But they didn't, because the thing is, it didn't take into account the 525. You're essentially double counting for B, right? Then for C, what you're doing is you're using $35 per person. 35 is not even in the problem. Essentially, you don't want to go ahead and add your 21 per person for the first 25 and then 14 for each additional person. You know what I mean? And then D, we just eliminate that one as well, because we just frankly find out that it just adds that random $21, and it ignores the 525 for the first group of people. So our answer here is A, just pretty much understanding when you have your step 1 and step 2, you break it up, you combine them, and then you go ahead and do that here, and then go ahead and move it. Also realize that I didn't put it a little bit higher. The photo's blocking it, so we can go ahead and do that again. So we can have 525 plus our 14 times n minus 25. So then we have 525 plus 14n minus 350. Combine our like terms, 525 and 350, 175. And then we have our 14n plus 175. All right, awesome. So if you understood that today, go ahead and give me a like, comment, subscribe. Any harder linear function equations, I would love to go through them for you guys. So go ahead and do that, and thank you again.